Mm.
Hi everyone, welcome to Sabado Sessions podcast. This is top of the week. We have go myself, Espin and Indy today. Unfortunately, Mo couldn't join us because he hasn't paid his broadband yet. Hopefully, Indy will wire him some money to pay that. Cool.
Yeah.
Today we will be covering the juniors that just happened in Romania and sub juniors, and also, of course, we'll talk about the Western Euros that just finished yesterday, I think, and the biggest news as well that came through GBPF about the selection competition that's happening by the end of the year. So these are the three things that we're going to be covering today. Um, let's start with the juniors and juniors in Romania. So we're not going to go weight class by weight class in terms of like because of timing as well. We're just going to highlight our GB future lifters, and then we'll talk about a few performances as well across the globe. Anything that impressed us, but anything that you guys, the listening, anything you guys think that it was amazing to you when you were watching it, drop that on the comment or anything. So let's start with the sub juniors. I know we have got a couple good sub juniors. We're just gonna touch a few names, and I'm gonna open the floor to you lot guys. And what is the highlight you guys feel like was incredible in that in those age group?
I think for me, like quite a lot of the sub juniors showed, after speaking to some of the coaches and stuff as well, they showed quite a lot of maturity for their age. Like going there, lifting, doing well, handling the pressure. So on the sub junior side, we had quite a few people who not only did really well but also won. I think Tiffany won in the 43 kg class. We had Lewis Anderton won in the 69s, and we had quite a few like second and third places as well. I think Sky Moore came second on hers. Um, Going through the list, there was another second here. Emily Byrne came second on hers as well. So it's I think it's a good showing because this is the grassroots of British powerlifting. This is the people that are going to be coming into the junior teams and the senior teams, and going to be taking over basically once Jurins hits 40 years old next year.
That is not a lie. That's true. Me and Tony Cliff, so we'll be probably the two.
Tony will still be lifting. You, I don't know.
What?
Good lad, you are.
Anyway, yeah, for my side again, I think I'll touch on what Indy just said there. Is the maturity, man. The what they show on the platform, these young women in the sub juniors, they were just incredible. Every single person looks so mature on that platform. So no one literally like crumble under pressure. So they executed and they did listen to their handlers. They did the job, and literally watching them made me feel really happy thinking about British powerlifting in the future. So the future's bright. I know we always take the piss when we say the future's bright, but watching these sub juniors, it was really like interesting to see the executions on the platform. So
Also,
Especially the heavyweight men's as well. The heavyweight men sub juniors
mm,
got Nonso and Josh. Joshua, they're both fantastic performances, made all their lifts look really, really easy, look really comfortable, looked like they were enjoying themselves out there. And I think that's half the battle,
mm,
not just lifting, but actually enjoying what you're doing as well. And that goes a long way, I think. And, how far ahead they were of their like competitors as well. It's ridiculous. That 200 kg, 300 kg difference between the first and the seconds. It's not a joke.
yeah, it was incredible. Again, I mean, even if not just the executions on the platform, even the numbers. These two kids open world records, both of them. And if we
and
talk
Joshua's numbers were like he didn't even try. He literally didn't try.
it was, I mean, even Joshua's like those squats, they were just bouncing. And I'm not talking about 255 squat. I'm talking about 300 squat. It made it look like the training weight. So again, like, it's just to say like the future is bright, the strength is there. I just hope they have good people around them, good coaching staff around them, people that can lead them to that phases of sub juniors and then going to juniors, because we all know the story here, right? When you leave the sub junior, you go to juniors, and then you're no show in the seniors. So if these guys, they have got potential, they have the strength, and then I'm definitely sure looking at them, they have got a good head. If they have got a good team around them, the future will be really bright for them. I think just like on the last mention there, Nonso pulling 360.5 kilos deadlift is ridiculous. You know what I mean? When just in the context of that, some people that don't understand where this kid is, the world record at 120 is 386 by someone I knew, unfortunately. But just to say, like, he's what, 26 kilo away from that. I'm not saying it's something that is reachable for him in the next 6 months or so. Just to say, at that age, he's already 26 kilo off a world record, which is we're hoping, hopefully, that will be pushed at the Euros. Otherwise, it's going to be funny. But
What do you
anyway,
mean it's gonna be funny? What?
so if it's not pushed at the
You
Euros,
need to worry about your world records. Oh wait,
I
you
don't
don't
have
have any.
I don't have any. Anyway, maybe soon. Don't worry. Cool. So that's incredible. And then Josh, again, like some of these numbers, like we know he has more on the deadlift. We know he has more on the squat. It's interesting to see how him moving transition into the juniors when we have Ray Boring here as well. Don't let's not forget that. It's gonna be an interesting. These two are really the future here. They both remind me of a certain Luke Richardson. Do you know what I mean? The future is bright, and these guys, they're proving they can actually hold it. So yeah. So Espin, on your side, any other comment on the sub juniors?
For me, it's more just like I feel like this is just an awakening for everyone as well. Like more eye-opening for everyone to understand that like we have some fucking great lifters up and coming. We've got world champions in the sub juniors, world champions in the juniors. If this isn't a reason why people shouldn't be tuning in more and hyping up these lifters as competitions approach in the future, then I don't know what it is. Because like prior to this comp, right? I'm not gonna lie, I didn't see any hype on any of these lifters, any of these names, up and coming. I didn't know. This is just me, anyways. I didn't know of the lifters that actually won it in the sub juniors and juniors. You know what I mean? Like these lifters need to be hyped up a lot more now moving forward, just to like get the name out a lot more within the country, and just to like give them a bit more confidence and to know that GB is behind them, not just not just a post like a week or 2 weeks later after the competition, or just a fucking repost or something like that. Like we need some actual hype from these pages that are actually like powerlifting specific. Anyways,
I think another message as well, just to add on to that one, like let's not just wait for our lifters to tag King on the lift for them to be reshared, and I'm thinking for them to get exposure, right? I've said this in the past, even us on the senior level, we need to protect and support our juniors and sub juniors. I mean, to protect and support is just, it comes along the way with many other routes. It doesn't just mean you have to call them, tell them how to lift, because some of us, I can't even do that. I can't even lift myself. How can I tell somebody?
We know.
If I can support by reposting, why not?
We know.
I know.
I think it's important here to for everyone to like realize is that there's a lot of us, right, in the country that are very quick to repost French lifters, Italian lifters, lifters from USA.
We've been saying this for a year and a half
and
now.
we've said this on a podcast so many times, like months ago, right? But it's something that just keeps happening. We keep reposting other people from other countries. When it comes to reposting anyone from our own country, sub juniors, juniors, open, whatever, nothing. Like I don't know if it's because like we're just intimidated by that.
No, it's not that. And I had this conversation a little while ago. What it is for some reason, like powerlifters in Britain have this mentality that if I share this person, it's going to detract from me. Like if I share this person, like my viewers will start looking at him, or my Instagram followers will start following them, and then they won't look at me anymore. And because I had it a lot in the past where people were like, "Why are you sharing?" Do you remember? I've said this like 4 times now. Why are you sharing Tony's lift? And I'm like, because he's an incredible lifter, and look what he's lifting. Yeah, but he's your competition. I'm like, how does that detract from me, what I'm doing, my lifting? Like it makes no odds to me to share someone else. But people seem to have this idea that if they share someone else, that it's taking the limelight away from them. It's not. It's just not.
Yeah, just do it. Just do it because bringing the exposure is for these lifters is not just about the lifter themselves; it's the nations as well. You know, what I mean, we're showing people what the talent that we have. Because I did post a few sub juniors and juniors on my stories. I get people from New Zealand saying, "Oh, damn, Britain is coming." I was like, "Yeah, we have got juniors and sub juniors that are fucking strong." But it's just like we don't give them enough exposure. That's why you guys don't know them around the world. If they were Americans, anyone will know them, who they are. But unfortunately, with us Britain, we have to do it ourselves. If people are not doing it, we have to do it ourselves. So just on that note, guys, let's move on to the juniors. So again, in the juniors here, we potentially just going to touch on our own lifters. We're just going to make this recap more about just British lifters. If there is a wow performance out there with other nations in the world or whatever, then we can touch on that. Talking about it, so we didn't have nobody on the 53s. We didn't have no one on the 59s. We had two lifters on the 66, which is Sammy and Grant Benedict. I think, again, we have to applaud the performance here, guys. You know what I mean? What Sammy did was just incredible. Incredible. It's ridiculous. When you think about he did the juniors, he took what I think 597 and a half at the juniors, and for him to go in the world stage, I'm not talking about bloody Southeast or Greater London or bloody Manchester World Cup. No, I'm talking about world. He went to world and totaled 632.5, which is like, I think it's like 10 or 9 kilo off the British record total at 66.
It made Espin leave.
Yeah,
exactly. And
Espin was so shook, he moved up 2 weight cuts.
Yeah, that's
he is the
incredible.
second strongest in the UK, and he's still a junior, so he killed it.
He had kgs to spare.
He had kg to spare. He could have been the strongest.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's to be honest, it's just interesting, right? I mean, again, I think I keep on saying this for years. If someone is strong as a junior and has the strength to compete as a senior, may fucking get that person on the team. Do you know what I mean? So.
Even like think about it, 600 is a big number, and we had another GB lad who also broke the 600 barrier within the 66s. So we had two 66s both breaking 600 barriers, one after the other. Grant, I think, is Benedict.
Yeah, Grant Benedict. Yeah.
So it's numbers are coming up.
Yeah, it is incredible. So the 66, you guys better be looking at and start doing some squat every day, mate. So
to depth, that's been to depth.
Let's move on to
moving on.
The 74 Espin, the cluster you moved up when you watched Sammy, but when you saw Benedict, you went up to 3.
In the 74s, there's a lifter called Brandon. Very good. Could you guys hear that? Sorry, 1 second.
Yeah, I can hear you.
So basically, there's a wait. Sorry.
Sorry, guys. Espin lives in Colombia, so.
Yeah, sorry, guys. A lifter called Brandon. Very good competition. Very good meet, man. He did really, really good. He hit, what was it, a 240 squat, a 150 bench, and a 272.5 deadlift. So, I mean, competition-wise, he ended up 12th. However, if you think about it, right, I think, was it 662.5? That would be like top 5 or top 6 in the UK. So he's already up there with the best 74s. As a junior still, and we're talking about the open. I mean, this is someone that I think he wasn't a 66s, but he's gone up now. This is his first comp at 74. Yeah, he weighed in at 72 as well, so he's still eating his way.
So he's still light, yeah.
He's still light, man. So he's got a lot of improvements to make in that sense as well. Yeah, he's someone to watch out for, man. Very good squatter, very, very good bencher as well. I mean, yeah.
The future is bright on those kids. They is bright. So yeah, and the 83.
You had a lot to say about the 83s when the 83s went down, Jurins. So why don't you give us your opinion on?
Oh, I mean, to be honest with you, I was kind of annoyed looking at our juniors and 83s because again, 83 is my class, right? So when I see a British 83, whether you're a sub junior or a junior, it's just like I have an interest to see where the future leads because a lot of people have led that weight class for a very long time in the UK, and now it's almost like on my hands now until probably the next year or the year after. So it's just like we had Joey and Max on that weight class there. So Max, of course, executed really, really well in terms of his attempt selection to everything. He did an amazing job. I know he went for a huge deadlift at the last bit just to get placing, but that does not literally almost like does not take away the rest of the comp. He had a fantastic day, let's just say, right? Max has a fantastic day. He placed fourth in the world, which is an incredible number, 732.5 kilos. Still more kilos there to add up as a junior. Yes, Joey had a horrendous day in terms of like the deadlift. So I'm just gonna be straight with this one, right? Because I know there's a lot of noise that's been going on around about this kid. Number one, when you're on the international stage, the pressure you feel, the way your body feel, the way your lifters are, the only person that will understand that is pretty much the lifter on the platform. So one of the things we do to almost like overcome this pressure is have the trust with the team that is looking after you, right? So that's why sometimes we say, okay, you do the numbers, I will just do the lifting. That's how we do it. If you start thinking about your numbers, you will have a bad day. So Joey had a horrendous day on the deadlift. The first one was 295, moves fast, it flew, right? The kid is strong, he has so much potential. But the lift he does in the gym, that lift on the international platform, it's a problem. The problem is, like, again, we saw his hitch. Joey hitched a lot of his deadlift. The second was hitch, the third was hitch. This is not a problem you fix on the international platform. It's a problem you fix in training. I know I'm not the one to talk about this because I could score high a couple times in international platform. That is on me as a lifter. I have to be able to lift it to standards in training and take it on the international platform. So this is not a bashing on Joey. It's not a bashing on his performance. It's just like if that was fixed in training, Joe would have been a world champion right now. So because of that hitch, that's the one that actually cost him a world championship. I know a lot of people will say a lot of things. I know he's disappointed the way he is right now. He's probably beat himself up about it, but shit happened, mate. Do you know what I mean? Learn from it. You got Euros coming up in the next few weeks. Just, you owe yourself a big performance. I spoke to him on the DM. I said, look, you owe yourself a big performance at the Euros. Just make sure you get that big performance at the Euros.
The strength is there as well.
You can see it.
Yeah.
You can see the strength.
Things don't move that fast if the strength isn't there. And I think it's time for a little bit of LFE, some learn from experience, because sometimes you have to learn from experience. I think we've all been there, like all of us, whether that's on a regional, national, or international stage, we've all been there where a mistake's been made and then you've got to learn from it and move forward. I remember British 2 years ago, I dropped that deadlift because my hand tore, and I had 7 months of every fucker in the world on my on my post saying, "How's the hand? How's the hand? How's the hand?" And like, I could have taken that to heart and just been like, what, fuck you all. I was like, my hand tore. I need to fix the hand. The first thing I did was message Deadlift Panda. I'm not sure if you've seen him on Instagram.
Yeah.
Nuttiest puller ever. And I was like, this is never happening again. And he was like, do this, do this, do that. I've been doing it religiously every single day from that fucking day. Touch wood, not a single drop so far. So sometimes you got to just do what you got to do.
You were grilled for 7 months, and that's why you're doing it to me for my world performance, right? Every podcast.
Yeah, you're gonna learn from that, Jurins. This is what you're gonna learn.
The funny thing about this world performance, right? I'm just gonna say this today. I become a very easy target to anyone on social media. Every time there's a conversation, the people are talking about performance on the international stage. People just go like, yes, but what happened to Jurins? He fucked up. Let me just get this straight to people.
Oh God, here we go.
Before you mention my name in this conversation, you just need to think about what type of Jurins you're talking about. What's the level Jurins is and what the level you are before you talk about it.
Never. You can't just start kneecapping people when they haven't even said anything.
Nah, man, I'm gonna do that because I saw people bashing my performance at international. They don't understand that. Look, I think again this goes to Joey. What I said to Joey as well on the message. One bad performance does not make you a bad lifter. Do you know what I mean? It's part of the journey. I mean, Tony Cliff bombed out in the Crypt in 2019 in Dubai. Do you think Tony is the best lifter we ever had in this country? You know, even if Tony can have a bad meet, what about someone like me or Joey? Come on. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, Indy's one hasn't come yet. He will come.
What do you mean it hasn't come yet? Of course it's come. It's come and fucking gone. It just wasn't.
I'm talking about the international stage. It hasn't come yet. You know.
Yeah, fucking touch wood, man.
When you load that 405 kilo, 4.5 kilos, isn't it?
Well, I will see. I'm not limiting my numbers anymore. I've had enough. The next person to say, "Yo, when are you gonna load 400?" I'm like, "You do it now."
True.
I'll load it for him. I will. I'll genuinely load it for him and be like, "Yo, pull it, bro."
Yeah, but
if they think it's that easy. How many IPF lifters have pulled 400?
No many.
Classic raw.
Just Jesus.
One.
Just Jesus has pulled 400.
One.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
That's all I gotta say. But yeah, it is. So I heard there was a lot of controversy around. Now I want your opinion because you're an 83. The coaches deciding to go up on that final deadlift pull for first.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Would you have done the same? Would you have wanted to do the same?
100%. Because Joey was in a position, I said this to him as well. He was in a position to be a world champion. That opportunity only comes once in life, unless you're Russ or Jesus or Taylor. For some of us, it only comes once. If you get the opportunity to pull for a world championship, even if it's like, to me personally, right, the position that Joey was in, even if he needed a 350 on a bar, if I'm a GB team, we would have loaded a 350. Do you know what I mean? Going up is not a problem in terms of like they go up, you get it. And in reality, when you look at the lift, he had the strength to 330. We all watched it. He didn't drop it. He didn't grind it. He had the strength. He felt the lift because the technical hitch that he had. If it wasn't there, he had the lift. So to me, to your question, Indy, 1,000%, I'll go on.
See, now I've had a few people in my inbox and they're like, why have you said this, or why have you posted that, why have you done this on your story? Let me be honest with you. If I didn't give a fuck, I wouldn't say anything. The people that are going to negatively impact you the most are going to be the yes men. Whoever that is around you. If you do something and the thing isn't quite right and the people around you are saying, yeah, man, and then there's someone else that's saying, no, that's not right. The person saying, no, that's not right, in my opinion, has your back more than the people saying, yo, yes, that's fine. But that's just my 2 cents. I know I'm a knob when it comes to that sort of shit. And I'll happily own that shit. But like for me, and I've had a conversation with quite a few GB coaches now, like the GB performances are the most important thing. It's the team thing. Do you know what I mean? Like the team's winning, you're winning, everyone's winning together. Like I want these lifters to be fucking annihilating these lifts. And I genuinely do hope come next Euros he fixes the problems he has and he pulls that and then some. And that would make me happier than fucking anything. Like regardless of what happens.
Yeah, going up is not an issue. The right there. To me, again, I will say that again. The coach, they made the rock hole for him to go up and win a world championship.
I agree. Because to be honest, if like, for example, that was what, 10 kg jump, 12 kg jump, something like that. If like I could have pulled 396 for the win, I would have done it. But Tony was just too fucking far ahead. So it was pointless.
You pull for the chance to win. So the reality was like he was 8th. So where you gonna pull yourself to?
8th to first is a big
jump.
ball move. So think about it. If that had hit, that would have been the most insane looking thing.
Oh, that would have been in everybody's stories. Do you know what I mean? I've never seen that before anywhere, unless like it exists somewhere. Guys, put it in the comment if you've seen it before. Someone jump from 8th to first. Just unless you're Enna or something. So I mean, I've never seen that. But yeah, that was incredible. Again, as I said, this is not bashing to him. Is what we saw. Again, we are not the type of people that I will see something and I will talk behind your back and I don't tell you. Do you know what I mean? So I'm saying here because I've got comments as well, people making comment about the stories I made. I was like, look, I've spoken to him already and I told him what's up. You know, he's a strong kid. He has to learn from this. The Euros, he's winning the Euros. That's it.
We're going to touch on this anyway, but like one of the French coaches, it's Nicolas Peyroud's other half. She put a deadlift post up of the 93s juniors. We're going to go over to them anyway. And it's the difference in their positioning from their second pull to their third pull. Did you see it that she posted it? It was like going from like 12th to third and like 8th to first or something along the lines of that. I think Nathan and Nathaniel, both their final pulls, like just did the work. And it's all about that. If you're a big deadlifter, that last pull, that's your trump card.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? And it showed because both of these boys fucking threw that card down on the floor and they were like, yep, Uno reverse, your turn. Oh shit, you got nothing left. Let me win this.
If these boys went 9 for 9, both of them, they would have podium. You know what I mean? That's how insane their pulls are. Anyway, just on that note there, let's move to the 93, guys. So what do you guys think of course, I know Nathan won, but the performance of the day was hands down Nathaniel.
Well, first of all, I just want to say I was the only one who had Nathan's back on the initial podcast. No. Shut up. Both of you shut up. No. Shut up. Yeah, I was the only one. First of all, I just want to fucking clarify that because I'll fucking pull out receipts right now.
What we said.
But what you said was no chance. Moving on, you said Nathaniel no.
You know what it was? I actually went back to that podcast to listen to it, right? Do you know what we actually said no to? It was when you said, do you think he's going to squat Jurins'
No. We even talked about the podiums. We talked about where people are going to podium. I was the only one to say Nathan is definitely going to podium.
Yeah, but you didn't say he's going to win, is it?
You didn't even have him on podium, Jurins.
No, I said if everybody has turned up, Nathan is not going to make podium. And no, he's not going to win, I said.
No, you said, but well, bro, you're fake ass. Anyway, fake ass friends aside. Listen, fake ass friends aside. These two boys did really well. I don't care what anyone says. Like the attempt selection was fucking perfect. Their execution on the day was perfect. Like everything, in my opinion, was really, really well done. I was a bit scared on the initial squat of Nathan's depth. But the second and third was nailed, in my opinion.
The first one was scary.
I was a little bit worried, but the thing about having standards in training, the thing about having that experience is even if it's a slight adjustment, he nailed it. And
it was
what can you say?
It was top class. So I think the competition. I mean, again, I'm gonna sound a bit negative here. I'm sorry to say this, but the 93 themselves as a competition, it was shit in terms of like everybody's performance. We were expecting more, but Nathan had to go some external factors. That's why you guys saw that 8-10, but Nathan had more in him if those external factors were not around. But his execution was top class. And Nathaniel, Jesus Christ. I mean, I don't think anyone in Britain, anyone in America, or anyone in the world even back Nathaniel to come third or even fourth.
No one had him to podium. Not even top 5. No one had him for top
5. One.
No chance.
You know, and it's just like if you look at the kid's progression since he started, it's fucking scary. You know, it's fucking scary. And then I was thinking about going to the 93. I think it's not going to happen anymore. You know, because shit like this, I'm too old for that shit.
You in the 93 should be fucking funny though. How are you going to get up there? 1 extra calorie a day.
I don't need to. So these people don't understand. I don't need to be 93 to be competitive.
So what you're saying? You're going to be 83.1. You're going to beat all these boys. Is that what you're saying?
I was 84. I told to 812.
So what you're saying is you as a 84 kg lifter, you'll
85.
smash all the British 93s,
Yes, if I'm 85, 86, I can beat them.
all of them.
Yeah, all of
I
them.
clip that. We'll send that. We'll tag all the 93s.
tag
There's
Christian,
free
by the way.
motivation for Christian. I ain't gonna lie to you. You're gonna make
Christian.
Christian go RPE 7. Then what?
Tag Christian, the best 93 this country's ever had. If I go 86 kilos with a good training, I'll beat him.
You know what? You know what that sounds like?
Yeah.
That sounds like this. If I'd hit all my lifts, I would have won.
No.
Hey, Jurins, that's 3 kilos, you know. Like, by the time you hit 3 kilos, you're going to be at M2. There's no chance.
I hear you guys. But anyway, yeah, the 93 guys were insane. Again, like Nathaniel, again, I think Nathan now has aged out. He's an old man now. Those news start clicking soon. So Nathaniel and Jack, they're the future now, the 93s in the juniors. But at the moment, I think
Nathaniel's got what, 2 years, 1 year, 2 years?
He's 20, so he got 3 years, I think.
Is he 20?
Yeah. So yeah, the 3 years he has, with of course.
Yeah, I have to say though, have you seen Nathaniel's good lift picture?
No.
Yo, bro, it's funny, bro. I've never seen such a screw face in my. The difference between his good lift picture and Nathan's good lift picture, fucking yo, I couldn't stop laughing.
I've seen Nathaniel one. Oh my god, he looks 14 though.
And now compare that to Nathan's with his little side angle like this, like little.
Nathan just looked like a solicitor that just got a new job, isn't it?
Yeah, he's like, yeah, he's in court and someone's told a lie and he knows, so he's like.
Wow. So yeah, Nathaniel's progress has been like really scary. But again, let's just put it straight. Let's put a pin on that. Progression is not linear. A lot of people, like a lot of youngsters, thinking, "Oh yeah, he has got what 802 kilos now." People thinking, "Oh, the 3 years he has been in the juniors, he will be getting 850 or 870 or 880." Progression doesn't work like that. Do you know what I mean?
But yeah, a lot of lifters now seem to think like they've got this in their head where if a lift moves really easy or like moves comfortably, they think, yeah, bro, 30 kg in the, but like weight doesn't work like that. Like, you know, for example, on a deadlift, your 270 to 300 isn't going to be the same as the 300 to 330. And the more it goes up, the harder it becomes to add those vital kgs on. But I think this is where the maturity side comes in. I think people like Nathan have been around the game long enough now to know that's not how it works. And if it doesn't go quite right, they're happy to adjust. And I think that's a learning curve for a lot of lifters. And I think that the sub juniors and the juniors who haven't been competing as long, they'll learn, like, and they'll adapt. Most of them have very good coaches behind them as well, or people like who are able to just settle them in. So,
yeah. Oh yeah. Yes, guys. I think of course.
Before we move on, who was your biggest disappointment in the 93? Because we spoke about the 93s a lot, if you remember, on the pre.
My biggest disappointment in 93. There was two people that actually disappointed me in 93. Shane Nutt and
Right? And who?
Because Jurins was
from the American, and Yulon, because Yulon came in to this meet with 830 kilos in the nationals, and I watched that nationals as well. You know what I mean? It's those type of national thinking. Do you know what? He wouldn't get this at world. He would get this. He wouldn't get that. So if you actually put proper judging in it, maybe he had like 820, 825 at the nationals, right? That's a big number. And for him to finish the world championship with 787.5, that's big. I know, yeah, I dropped 30 kilo in Malta, you know, that was massive. And for him to drop this much, a 30 kilo drop, 40 kilo drop is huge.
Especially at 93. Like 93. The lighter you get, the bigger the...
Yeah. You know, to me, that was a disappointment, to be honest. And of course, Shane Nutt as well, because of what happened last year, the last year World Championship. I was expecting him to come in almost that thing like, oh yeah, payback time. Do you know what I mean? This is mine to win. and yeah, his performance was really not what I was expecting, to
The
be
thing is,
honest.
Lee's an experienced international competitor
Mhm.
as well, like quite a few years in. So what was it that I was trying to like figure out. I was like, have you opened too heavy? Like, is there technical issues? What the hell's going on? Because the way podiums were playing out in our heads was completely different to the way the podiums played out here.
Oh, completely different. I mean, Malik is still a sub junior. I think he's just moved. You know, he just came out of sub juniors. Is that he has got a future in the '93 in terms of like his progress. He's just like Nathan, Nathaniel. So I think coming next year, World Championship, it's going to be Nathaniel and Malik. These two literally will go all out for it. So that's what I was expecting. But again, what surprised me as well is that Johnson. Is it? What is it? I don't want to butcher his first name. Is
Peyton.
it Peyton? I mean, have you seen the man did deadlift?
Yeah.
That deadlift is huge for a genius. You know, for anyone to pull out, he was nominated for what was it 360 or something like that? You know,
Was it a 360 nomination he had?
something like that. Something similar like that. You know what I mean? But that's huge. But again, that was surprising. But rather than that, I mean, our boys, they both made podium, so I don't really care about the rest, to be honest. So yeah.
Yeah, fair. Yeah. Fair enough.
So, yeah.
And we didn't have a 105 or a 120, did we? No, we had a 120.
We had a 105.
Um,
We had a Charlie Kidd.
Did we? Yeah, we did. We had a 105 and a 120. My bad.
Yeah,
Apologies.
that's right. We had Charlie Kidd again. When you go to an international and then there is 23 lifters and then you come 13th, it's no bad. Do you know what I mean? It's no bad. You know, the only bad thing is my man there, like Lim Fabian. That's someone who will be thinking, oh, damn, I was nominated.
Don't be Don't be fucked up, Jurins.
No, I'm just saying to our boys, you know what I mean? Like take pride from it and build up for it, and the next year you go again. So he was born.
That's some fucked up shit. Man's out here representing his country, and Jurins just comes in with a clean sweep. The most fucked up guy I know, you know.
I'm just saying to our boys. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna message him after this and just be like, "Yo, post up what happened at Worlds."
Yeah. Go on, go for it. And the 120 Indy. So yeah, that's your weight class right there. So what? So I know we have got Lewis Kelly there as the Brits 11th, but in terms of the performance of the 120, what do you think?
I think the 120s is a fucking stacked class at the moment. I know people keep talking about it, but it's a properly fucking stacked class. Some really, really strong characters in there as well. Two people who not only broke the 900 barrier, but were like 925, 926. That bench on Jonah is ridiculous.
Is that a world record? That was Genius. Open is Dennis Cornelius, isn't it?
I think that's the open now.
You kidding me? That's ridiculous.
I think he now holds the open record. I'm pretty sure.
And let's put a pin on that. These two totals, if there was,
isn't it? Oh fucking hell! This is where we're gonna look like right fucking idiots now. Let me have a look. Carry on.
The 926 and 925.5. If they were in Malta, they both would have been on the podium. That's how insane the 120s are at the moment. So, I mean, how does that make you feel, though, Indy, as a 120 yourself, to see the quality of lifting across the board?
It just pushes people forward, doesn't it? That's the main thing. Like, at the end of the day, powerlifting's about competition. Like, if there was only one person on the podium, one person in a flight, 2 people, 3 people in a flight, it's a pointless endeavor in my opinion. With more and more people coming through, it just enables people to push that little bit harder. Like the standards in GB were quite static for many years, and then it just fucking slingshot upwards. And I think that sort of stuff really, really helps in general. Like boost people's lifting potential, full stop.
Did you see that bench?
I'm having a look now. 253, Dennis Cornelius is 253.
So he's only 3 kilos.
3 kgs off.
Fuck. and he's German as well. And oh my god, this is his last year as a junior.
What do you mean? And he's German as well.
No, because I'm thinking about you.
That's the most random thing
And he's
in the world, bro.
people.
What?
You
You
guys
on
gonna
about?
get me? You guys gonna get me cancelled in what you talk about?
You need to be cancelled because
But
the stuff
anyway,
that comes out of your
I'm
mouth.
saying the reason I'm saying he's German as well because I'm thinking about you guys being Brits at the Euros. That battle will be fierce, will be incredible because he's aging out this year. So next year you will meet him at the Euros. So
We'll probably
hopefully,
meet him at Worlds. You know what? It doesn't bother me. Stuff like we've had this conversation before, and we've had like arguments about this before. But I don't look at other people and be like, "Oh my God, look at this person!" Like the way they're training, the stuff that they're hitting affects me, my training, my future, my plans in no way whatsoever. Because it's like I had a few people message me like, "Oh, yo, bro, someone's coming for your world record." I'm like, "Cool," but I've already hit that, and I'm looking way beyond that. So like, if you're focused on a number and someone else is focused on a number far beyond that, you'll get there and be like, wow, fantastic. And then someone else has moved on. Do you know what I mean? That's how I'm looking at it from the total perspective, the deadlift, everything. For me, it's just a case of being a better lifter. What someone else hits is congratulations to them, support it, share it, but that doesn't affect me. Do you get what I mean?
I understand.
I think that's a weird mentality to have for me anyway.
I mean, I think you're right there. I agree with you. Even myself, that's the mindset anyway. But it's just like to me personally, when I see, especially in my weight class, when I see people shifting massive. Like last time I was watching. Nowadays, you guys have seen Russ has become a different animal. So if you see lifted like that, lift, and then you're thinking I'm gonna meet him in 2024, a world potentially, it's not about I will beat Rice, I will be better than Rice. It's about exciting to compete against someone that strong. Because again, strength pushes strength.
I agree, but this is the thing. We already have Tony in the weight class who's beyond this.
Mhm.
And I compete with Tony. So like that's where my excitement is, to compete with another Brit who's already the world champion. Do you get what I mean? So like this doesn't add an extra element for me. Respectfully, it doesn't, like, because I've already competed with someone much stronger than that.
But it makes you be excited about the weight class. But you don't want to go to world.
I'm excited about the weight class, but it doesn't. I don't overthink it either.
Yeah, you don't want to go to world and win by
De facto.
No.
But on the flip side, if you do, why shouldn't you celebrate that?
No, I'm not saying you don't want to. You can't celebrate. Of course, you can celebrate. Of course, it's your hard work, it's your performance. Even if there was one man in a class, you win. You're a world champion. Like some people call themselves sixth in the world or sixth in the Commonwealth, but there was only 6 lifters. But do you know what I mean? It is your performance. Be excited about it. So yeah. On that note, let's move on to 120 plus before I get cancelled. So I can see the
we
eyes.
didn't have a GB lifter in that class, though, did we?
No, we didn't. Just a mention to Temo there. I mean, incredible.
Hey, Jurins, I did see on your social media though you wasn't a fan of all the comments that people were making.
No, I mean, I will put it out there, right? There's a lot of people that post a lot of negative stuff about lifters that lifted on international platforms, especially Temo gets a lot of it. You know, I understand people's appearance physically always does not appeal to everybody else, right? It doesn't mean you're gonna go on social media, be a keyboard warrior and chat. And then what pissed me off, it was not even like on the King of the Lift or IPF people comment, I don't even care. British lifters, national British lifters, some of them reposting that story and writing shit about the guy. Mate, why would you be that nasty? Do you know what I mean? You're not even I mean, to me, I'm so pissed off about it because I'm still thinking about it, and I'm still thinking about these names that I really respect in Britain, and they did it, and I was really upset. I'm thinking like, you shouldn't be doing. I'm not. By the way, I'm just putting it out there. I'm not putting this because you guys will be thinking, oh, I'm 40 in Africa and I'm 35 in the UK. No, my passport said I will be 35. That's what
no one said, bro. No one said anything.
Because I can see Indy's face saying, you know, what's your age?
Now that
Bro, I said nothing.
Now
Don't try
all I'm saying is, I'll get your opinion, guys, about it. But to me, I did not like it. That was nasty. You shouldn't be doing things like that. You shouldn't be saying things like that because this man He's a junior. Let him be a junior.
And plus, it's not a case of like he did something wrong and they're like, oh, this is wrong or this needs to be done better. They were literally just attacking him for the way he looks.
Yeah, just the way he looks. Why? Why would you do that? You know what I mean? Is it because what you go bloody long hair and a blondie hair? Are you thinking you're better than him? Come on, your
There's
hair.
people like Espin who can't grow a beard.
And the other thing as well, right? A lot of people that wrote these comments, they're good-looking people and whatever. But you look at your strength level and Temo, you can't even compare it. He's on a different planet. You're a powerlifter. Before you start like grassing, bashing Temo by his looks, why don't you focus that energy into your lift?
I guarantee you, if you said to them, you lose your hair right now, but you can hit 1,000 kg total tomorrow, they'll all take it.
Of course. You know, all I'm saying, instead of being a keyboard warrior, don't stop being that. Focus that energy into your training. Maybe one day you wear a GB singlet. You know? And on
Just
that
buy
note,
one off eBay.
On that note,
Espin,
now-
sell yours. Oh
now-
shit, you don't have one.
I
Carry on.
I got
on
one.
that note,
Man wrote GBR with a Tipex on an STD singlet. He goes, yo, look.
we're getting cancelled after this.
On the flip side, though, to that, Jurins, I completely understand, but a part of me, man, that comment section it's horrible to say.
Yeah,
but
that's because you're toxic.
it was
You're
funny.
toxic, bro.
You
was
enjoy it
so
because you're
funny.
toxic.
I'm not
I'm
gonna
here
lie.
on this
I
webcam
spent-
looking like an unlocked character,
I
and you're
spent
giving
a-
other people shit.
I spent
You
about-
can't give him shit when you can't afford lights. Come on. You're on about Mo can't pay bills. Where's your lights?
It's there. It's tough times. But I spent about 5 minutes on that comment section. It was brutal, man. Like the comments.
I'm not gonna lie, you spend more than 5 minutes because you're toxic as fuck. You
Okay,
spend
maybe
the whole
I
day
spent
getting
10. But yeah, it was bad. Anyways, all right, let's move on to the females, guys. So we've got no one in the 47s, no one's in the 47s. So in the 52s, we had Molly Clark. Molly Clark ended in 6th place with a 125 squat, 87.5 bench, and 135 deadlift.
No, your phone. Espin, you gone on the mute. But yeah, so that Molly had an incredible performance in terms of like.
Yeah, you're back.
Again, you were on the world stage. There's 10 lifters. You are 6. Take pride of that. Build from that for next year. So that's going to be incredible. The future looks really bright, both side men and women. So in the 57th, we had Caitlin Baxter and Amelia Fox. So again, incredible lifters, right? I mean, to be honest, me again, as I said, what Indy mentioned in the beginning, it is that maturity from these juniors and sub juniors. Everybody, even if some of them start having a shit day, but you can tell on the platform they were composed in the next attempt. It's almost like whatever
and enjoying it.
Last attempt is done. You know,
and you got to enjoy it.
Yeah. So they had a very good meet. So yeah, we had 2 on the 63 as well, which is Lucy Robinson and Grace Allison. Again, same thing. I will echo that. Yes, of course, Grace, Lucy placed 5th and Grace placed 10th. If you ask them, probably it's not the place they wanted to place. But again, this is an international. You're competing against all the nations in the world. Sometimes what's there on the day, just take that and move on. And they would have done this one like this 69. We had Bettina Hallen. Same thing is again, placed 8th there, which is again top half, very good. You know, it's not something that you should be ashamed of. Something you should build on. The 84 and 84 plus, that's where probably the interesting story is. I would ask Indy to take on the 84. What do you think?
I think it's a battle, man. Like they absolutely smashed it, and Melina and Erlo was so far clear as well. It's ridiculous. Like the entire time, I think I was just looking at my YouTube the whole session, just like, what the hell am I seeing, sort of thing. And I think it's just a showcase of British lifters. Like they're the cream of the crop coming forward and they're moving forward and they're going to push into the seniors. And I genuinely, like, I know we had this question with regards to juniors moving into seniors and how they find it difficult and how they have a lot of problems. But I see a lot of these junior lifters that are going to come into the seniors now and do really, really well because they seem to have the right mentality. Like, regardless of what's going on, they're working hard. They're going to continue to work hard. They're going to continue to break records. And both Melina and Erlov showcased that like fantastically here. Like, the squats are fantastic. Melina's bench is fucking ridiculous. I think she benches more than Espin. And Erlov definitely deadlifts more than Espin. So
I mean,
And you know what's crazy as well though? That Erlov didn't even have the best day, man. Obviously, we spoke in the last episode where, you know, she had a lot of stuff going on, a lot of changes in her life. That also proved to be on her squat. Obviously, she didn't have the best day on that. But despite that, like, she didn't have the best day on squats, but yet you still go away with like 70 kilos above third place. It's just fucking ridiculous. Like,
I think I've said this to her. There's no many people on this planet that can say I've taken an Amanda Lawrence record. Only one person that can say that. It's her. She's the only person since 2019 when Amanda Lawrence showed up in Sweden. She's the only person that can say, I have taken Amanda Lawrence's record. She took Amanda Lawrence's deadlift record, that 253 she pulled. It's just to show, again, what Indy said, echo to it. They're just an incredible genius, these guys, you know, and then coming into the seniors as well, the change will be different because the environment now in British powerlifting is different, right? No shade to everybody that competed in the past, but in the past, the juniors environment was different than now. In the past was if you wear the GB singlet in comps or in the nationals, people almost like you don't want to talk to everybody else because you think you are the best, you are the best. But now it's just like, yeah, GB singlets you can get it for free nowadays. But anyway, it's just like, yeah, even Espin has got one. So it's just basically to say the atmospheres change and people we are more the seniors, the seasoned seniors internationals, they're more approachable now. Do you know what I mean? And then we're even learning from some of these juniors. But in the past, it was not like that. Senior would never want to learn from the juniors because just thinking like, why is he going to teach me? But now we're all learning from each other. So it's just incredible. And Melina is aging out this year. I think the Euros will be her last juniors. So next year, that senior 84 class is gonna be incredible. You know what I mean? Incredible. So yeah, Ziana and Temi, whew,
it's gonna be a battle.
That's gonna be a long day, guys.
And Erlov did say that she's not going to be going to 84 plus. She's not going to be going up a weight class. She's going to stay at 84s as well. She said there's no point.
She's 82.83. There's no point going up. And she's doing well. She's not regressed. She's not like static with her numbers. So what's the point?
Yeah.
In conclusion, with this recap of the juniors, right?
We've got 84 plus as well.
Yeah, 84 plus. We got Harriet.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I watched her literally when she was lifting. I mean, she was going for that 500. She even said to me, "Oh, next comp, I'm gonna aim for that 500." I said, "No way." I mean, you go to world and total 492.5, and your next comp shouldn't be 500. I know I always talk about add 2.5 kilo, but the way her lift moved on that platform, she should aim more than that, right? And then she had 500 on the day. So it's just like it didn't happen. So yeah, incredible to just see that again. In that weight class, a 500 kilos at 84 plus in our country, it's huge as a gym. You know what I mean? So it's something like we have to bear in mind where these numbers, where these guys are. They're still young, they're still juniors coming up. So it's incredible where they are. So yeah, Espin, what's your comment there, my friend?
I was just gonna say, in conclusion for the juniors, man, I think one of the most important things we need to take on this is just that we just need more hype. We need everyone to just like be behind all of these athletes. And I'm not just talking about like specific pages like on Instagram and stuff like that. I'm talking about like us as individuals, like everyone, like from competitors to coaches, even coaches that don't coach specific lifters, but they're on the Team GB team. Like just push them, like repost their stuff on social medias. Like we need to talk more about our athletes coming up because these guys are proven to the world that they are good. You know what I mean? And it's like, this is clear indication that we have very good athletes coming up, man. And we just need to make sure that people are aware of who they are.
Yeah.
Because no one's going to bro, like, if you think about it, right? No one's going to repost these lifters from Spain, Italy, France. If anything, English lifters repost people from other countries. We're never going to repost our own, but we need
They
to.
never repost us.
That's
If
what I'm
you've
trying to say.
noticed.
No
Like,
one
very
will
little.
repost us. No one will ever repost us. And you'll never see someone from, you know, like from Italy or France or something like repost any GB lifters just randomly, unless they have so much clout or whatever it is. No one's going to do it. This is only going to happen if we start from now and we start doing it ourselves. So we need to get into that habit of doing it and making sure that the world knows who these lifters are. Because if it's not us, no one's going to do it, and no one's going to know who these lot are, man. So
yeah, just a last comment there on the men's as well. When on the team points, by the way. So on the sub juniors men, we came second behind the US by 4 points. We're 4 points behind. Again, that's incredible. And Nonto picked up third best lifter there on the sub juniors. And on the juniors men, I think we came fourth on the team. They're incredible. Nathan picked up third best. Just to see where the depth is, like how incredible these was. On the women as well, on the women's side, I think on the sub juniors, our team came second behind the US by 2 points. So, I mean, amazing. And we had, I think, Mo Sky there came fifth. She was literally not far off to get that third. And on the junior women, of course, as always, the French won, which is it is what it is. But we came third there as well. So yeah, incredible stuff there for us. So we can't just sit here and ignore this. We need to build on from this in terms of, like, as Espin say, let's give these guys the spotlight they deserve. That spotlight will push these juniors to work harder. Because at the end of the day, as soon as you test the spotlight, you want to remain there. You want to work hard, not to stay away from it. Even though people like Espin never found a mate for 2 years, he's out of there. But
he's competing in November, isn't he?
Guys, I'm competing on the 2nd of December. I'm back.
Oh no, I thought you're competing. Let me get the comp up. I'll tell you when you're competing. Right, yeah.
Right. Since Indy is doing that again, I think this is for me to say, like, GB, the future's bright. The guys
December 25th. Espin's competing December 25th.
Come on, let me hear it. What's the joke?
No joke, bro. December 25th. Isn't that the date? Oh no, it's Christmas. Never mind. It's fine. Carry on.
Okay.
Carry on.
So
Carry on.
It's to say these juniors, like, they've shown us that the future of our nation is bright. So we don't have nothing to fear. So we can leave it in their hands, and because these guys will perform. On that note, we'll move to another development competition, which is the Western Euros that happened this week. There was a lot of spotlight on there, which is, I liked it, because in the past no one literally spoke about the Western Euros. You know what I mean? And we know it existed, but no one was talking about it. And in the past few years, we didn't really do anything. So I think Tosh didn't send a team at all for the Western Euros. But now it's back, and I think Jake was leading the team this time around. And of course, there were a couple of lifters there. Because Amago, of course, I'm going to open the floor to the guys just to mention about the competition itself. Yes, it's a very small competition in terms of the people that go. But the good thing about it is these guys are getting the spotlight. That's very, very important. And also at the same time, they're getting that international experience, because we go to the British, not everybody will go to World. Not everybody will go to Euros. There's only 8 men and 8 women that will make World, that will make Euros, right? And potentially, sometimes the reality is the same team that goes to World is the same team that goes to Euros. It's really hard to see the change unless people underperform. But the reality is that's how it is. So to have competition like the Western Euros coming in on board, people getting GB singlet, because again, some people in this country, they only live for GB singlet. They only lift for GB singlet. If I get my GB singlet, I can retire tomorrow. But one thing, like someone like me, you can put me on a diaper, I wouldn't care. I would lift, right? So I wouldn't care. But Indy don't use that as a meme. But all I'm saying is that
Yeah, bro, I already had you pictured. Like, I got your head ready to go put on some Rugrats.
so these guys are getting GB singlet. It was amazing to see them there representing our nations. And me, I've watched it. So I will encourage everybody else, in the future, keep an eye on this one. It's an interesting thing to see. So guys, what's your thoughts on it?
I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the whole thing. It's a nice, just like the Commonwealth, it's a very good like introductory international competition. It's very good to get people into international competitions. Very good to get people lifting to international standards, around international referees. It's just a nice thing, a nice competition. I'm glad we're starting to put a bit more effort into it from the GB side, because what it does is, like you said, it enables lifters who are up and coming or who want to start progressing towards the GB like senior teams, to lift internationally and showcase, try and break European records, try and break like British records. It's another opportunity for people to get a really big total in. And it's like you said, like over the last couple of years, it's sort of died off, like the hype for it, the people wanting to go for it. And I think allowing people to buy their GB singlets to compete here and things like that are going to bring more people and more eyes onto the competition in general. And just it's a good opportunity. And if you have the opportunity to take it and you haven't been selected for World and Euros, then why wouldn't you want to do an international competition?
Yeah.
Plus, it's Iceland. The place is amazing. So, like, it's the Western Euro stuff will be at some decent locations as well.
Yeah. Espin?
So in the 74s, we had Saber.
Mhm.
Did I pronounce that right? Saber. Yeah.
Yeah, Sabaya, yeah.
Yeah, so he had a good day, man, to be fair. He obviously a little bit of background on him. Well, from what I've been informed anyways, is that he had a big cut to do. So I think he was at 79, nearly 80 kilos, a couple of days out, or the week of maybe, I think it was. So he had dropped all the way to 74s.
Made it comfy as well, 73.15.
Yeah.
That's
So
incredible,
it's pretty good there, man.
he won.
So wait, are you telling me that people are able to do these cuts and it not affect their performance?
Oh, here we go.
I'm just
Well, it will, but what are you talking about?
just generally asking a question.
Well, it will. Name one lifter that does a big cut and doesn't affect his performance. Name one. Espin? No.
Me.
You.
Espin cuts from 93.
With what, 7-8 hours way in or 2 hours way
Espin looks
in?
fucking radioactive when he's on comp day.
Yeah, I mean. So
Right, guys, let's stay on Saber. Let's stay on Saber. So, despite everything, right? Despite the big weight cut he did, there were a lot of big numbers, especially in the deadlift that everyone was waiting for. Because obviously the talk was the 300 deadlift that he was pretty much gonna do, which ideally it looked really promising because training looked really good as well for him, to be fair. But on squats, he hit 230 squat, which looked really, really good. His 147.5 bench, and he still had a lot more keys on his bench, to be fair. Like he could have easily done 150. So that's good to see. But then on deadlifts, it just wasn't there. Like deadlifts just didn't show up on the day, I'm afraid. And that shit happens, I guess. Maybe the squats took a lot out of him. Maybe the weight cut then just, played the part towards the end of the comp.
660 put him again up there, some of the best 74s in the country.
Yeah.
So, do you know what I mean? So
he had a good day overall, man. But yeah, there's still a lot more for him, to be fair. Like once he gets that deadlift up, he should be up there with the best of the best anyway. That was a good day for him, to be fair.
Yeah. And on let's move on to we didn't have no one on the 83s, so we'll move on to the 93s. We had two Brits on the 93. We had Maxwell, Yanthi, and Indy, don't say that because you're gonna butcher that. And we have
Bro, you've been butchering names since you were born. Have you seen the state of the names you've been saying?
Well, I had to get sandbagged, bro. So yeah, and we had Ryan Duffield. So again, incredible lifters. I mean, the performance. To be fair to you, I didn't know who Ryan was until the squat started, and I watched his open. I was like, damn, that guy has got serious squat. That's good. You know what I mean? So again, incredible. What finished with 787 Ryan, and of course Maxwell won 827.5 kilo, which is
Big.
the second biggest total in our country as a 93. So that is almost to tell everybody be aware of. Remember, he went for 300.5 kilo squat. I think he just missed it on depth. Again, that would have been increased his totals there. Maxwell bench is always incredible. You know, he has a tremendous bench. So we all know that. And to me, like, for his performance, I think he had a very good day.
Mm.
You know, he had a very, very good day. And for him to total like, that, what he did there, it was incredible. And it's not even like, oh yeah, he went to a competition where it's a local like the Southwest where Espin went. But again, as I said, he went to an international. He had judges that were not British. Do you know what I mean? And he performed. And to think about this is a man that turned up in the British scene only last year. We didn't know who Maxwell was.
But this is his third comp as well, isn't it? I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
it's his third one.
Third or fourth. He turned up the British team last year, and for him to do what he did at this competition is incredible. So to me, like, yeah, I will literally take my hat off him to him. So it's just like it's incredible. It is an incredible, guys. What do you guys think about his performance?
I think it speaks for itself.
Mm.
Second biggest 93 kg total in the country, isn't it, at the moment? Fantastic performance, an international performance. Went 7 for 9. Fantastic bench, very good squat, good deadlift, good all rounder. He doesn't really have a lift that's bad. Do you know what I mean? And we know
That's the
these
scariest
days you
part,
have to be a total specialist to win.
Especially yourself, like you're a puller while you're a deadlifter. Up to maybe last year, the year before, you've always been a puller. So when you see someone that is all arounder, to me, I find those people are hard to beat and they're scary at the same time. Because
yeah, it's difficult because where do you go? But the thing is, the 93s are full of total specialists.
yeah, all of them.
If you have a look.
Yeah.
And he did incredible, and he's put a show in, and he's put a total in. Whether he chooses to do the November comp and stuff, that'll be up to him. Whether he chooses to leave this total will be up to him. But it'll be exciting to see where he goes. But I don't think Christian's worried about anyone at the moment.
I don't think Christian's worried about any 93 now.
Anyone or 83.
You know, I mean, 83. He shouldn't be worried about anybody unless I get to 90 kilos. Then he will worry. But
when you're gonna get to 90, how are you gonna get to 90 kilos? You're gonna put IVs in like your American boy.
Espin said when I'm M2. So that's when Christian will worry. So me and Christian will be in M2 anyway at that time. But
Christian still beat you.
I think Christian shouldn't be worried about anything. But
Christian ain't worried. Christian's just chilling. Christian's in Zen mode, and I'm
where
loving
Christian is watching Maxwell, knowing Christian as a person, because I know him as a person, he's almost excited to see someone getting those 820 plus numbers at 93. Because almost like when he goes to compete against these guys, almost like it's not like I'm not going like Christian from last year. Christian will win with him sleeping, can just win with openness and all that shit. Do you know what I mean? But now it's kind of like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna win by 50 kilos or 80 kilos anymore. You know, because someone is there with that number. It's exciting. So yeah, again, forget like Ryan that's there. The 787.5 kilos. We go back a few years ago. That used to be the British record at 93. So again, these are incredible things. Again,
we had best lifter and second best lifter as well, by the way.
Yeah, so 93 alone. And so 105, I will leave that to Indy to take. I know we had a Brits there. So what do you guys think about the new king?
Well, I knew you were gonna drop that comment. Everyone,
it's not me dropping the comment. We all saw it in the live stream. It's not me.
I just don't get it. I'm just gonna be honest. I just don't.
Well, the crown thing.
I don't get the crown thing. Like,
I think it was a shot at CJ. That's what I take from it anyway. But his performance was good. Had a bit of issues on the squat with the squat depth. Needs to be rectified. I think Sanchez is going up to the 120s anyway, and like 120s are bigger squatters than deadlifters. So like
120.
Who's Sanchez?
He said to you, he's going to the 120.
Mm.
Oh right, okay.
So he's got time and space to grow. He's a big lad. He's a tall lad. He's taller than me. Had some issues with the depth on the squat. His bench looked fine, and his deadlifts look immaculate. His deadlifts always move really, really fucking well. So that 373 at 105, he took Mo's record, and he hit the Western Euros deadlift record as well. And that's a big, big deadlift for a 105, and you can't take that away from him. I think if he fixes the squat issue, I think he'll start pushing into some very good numbers. Just some technical stuff that he needs to work on. But at the end of the day, he's a big puller, and his job is to pull for the win, and that's what he did.
How do you think Mo took this?
Mo's busy. Mo's bulking up to the 880 kg class.
I don't think Mo's did care.
Mo cared more about the bloody crown thing than anything else.
He cared more about the crown, because I saw his response on the crown bit. I didn't even get it first when he said that, "Oh, Ben, can you sort this out?" And then when I followed the stories around, I put two and two together and understood what he was talking about. But I don't think Mo cares about this, because Mo knows he can pull more than that any day. Right? He knows it, because I mean, we were there in Sheffield, right? When you pulled the 370 as a second, if you loaded 380, he would have locked that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he went for 391 when he fumbled the balls and dropped 5K. So he still owe people a debt on that. But anyway, I think, again, I think from where I'm standing is when I saw Sanchez 373, it's almost good for Mo, to be honest. I love Mo. He's a friend of mine. I love him. He's a brother. But that record's been taken away from him is good, because I want Mo to be pushed.
Yeah.
Because as a 105, look, let's be honest, right? 105 is in our countries. I don't see anyone that can push Mo. I don't see anyone. Ben is coming. Ben's lifters are growing.
You say that.
Huh?
You say that. Ben's not far off. Sam's up there as well.
Bro. If Mo is on it, forget Malta. If Mo is on it, no one is coming close.
I agree. Yeah.
But I know things don't work like that.
I love Mo, and I agree. Right, but you can't just throw ifs out there.
No, I'm not.
If I bench 250, I'll beat Tony. There we go.
You're not gonna bench 250.
Well, then why are you putting ifs in there? Like, I'm just generally saying there are people that are within touching distance, and I think all Mo needs to do is get healthy. When he gets healthy, not if he gets healthy, he'll be able to put his foot down properly.
Yeah, that's
the way I see it.
I think as well, like the Sanchez pull, it did not bother him.
I don't think it did. I think it was really good for Sanchez, and it's big seeing those numbers being put up by GB lifters. Period.
Oh yeah.
But I think Mo's more interested in his total, and putting a crown on his own head than anything else.
Yeah, you need to get that crown, Mo. But anyway, I think that 373 that Sanchez pulled as well, it was good because it put the Western Euros almost on a talking point. Do you know what I mean? Have you seen that 105 that pulled 373 at the Western Euros? It's incredible. And in the 120s, we didn't have nobody. We had Lewis McLean in the 120 plus. Watch it. Incredible. You know what I mean? He scored 350, and I was watching that 350. I was like, look, don't get me wrong. I know some people, when people are Lewis scoring 350, people don't see how much weight that it's 350 kilos we're talking about here. This is no fucking pound. Do you know what I mean? And the way you moved it as a big guy, but still you're thinking, oh fucking hell, man, Jesus Christ. So yeah, he won it, 880. Incredible to right there. So I think overall, in the men's side, I think everybody performed really. All the breaks we sent on the men's side, they performed very well. That's why the men team won as well, the best team. So it was, it was good to see them. It was good to put that spotlight on them. Again, as I said, there was a bit more eyes on them this time. Every single one of them, literally. Again, as I said, I didn't know Ryan, but when I watch it, I'm thinking like, oh, I like that guy. Do you know what I mean? So it's incredible to see these kind of me coming along. So on the women's side, guys, what do you guys think? How did we do in the women's side?
It's pretty good, man. In the 37s, you got Cherry Young came second.
Good.
Really good there. What's your 117.5 squat, 75 bench, and she only got opener deadlift, so 142.5, but nonetheless still came in second. So I was
She loaded the record though. She loaded the record right there. So do you know what I mean? So to be an international platform, to be able to load the record is an honor. Not everybody's indie, by the way. Do you know what I mean? So you guys are loading
Shut up.
records on international platform. Be proud. You know, not all of us can do it. So yeah, that's the honor right there.
no one in the 52s.
hmm
In the
57s, we had Connie.
Yeah.
I think we've kind of coming in second, right?
Mm.
So again, I mean, you can't take it too hard coming second at international, right? Is an international. You're the second best 57 in the Western Euros, so it's something we should be as a nation as well, right? All these things I'm talking about here, our nation is top 2. You know, this is what that's the strength of Brits, right? British lifters now. So we can go to these competition, whether it's a D competition or C competition, but we can still be in that podium. So that's incredible. On the 63, did we have anyone on the 63? That's Makeda, isn't it?
Makeda, yeah, and she, even though she came second, she actually won best lifter.
Because she's skinny.
She was lighter, yeah, by like 250 grams or so than the person who came first. So that's bittersweet.
Oh, you mean that's the same thing? The same thing. What do you call it? I'm still hurt. The same thing. Anatoly did at the Euro last year.
It's wild, isn't it?
He didn't win the Euros, but he won best lifter.
I don't know what I'd rather have. I genuinely don't know what would you rather have, number 1 or best lifter?
No,
like
winning.
I prefer to get into a comp, to be fair.
Yeah, because you can't get to any.
Yo, bro, you've been missing for so long. We can't even see you on the screen.
So yeah, that's incredible what Makeda did there, like coming second and winning best lifter.
462 is a big total as well.
Yeah.
63. So fantastic performance from her. And then we won 69s as well. Rebecca came first, 477, 172 squat, 102 bench, and 202 deadlift. I love seeing like female deadlifts in the 200 range. I fucking love seeing them. It's fantastic because it used to be like that number was unattainable.
It's like
Do you know what I mean? A few years ago, there was like 3 lifters in the world that were doing that, female, and now it's just like
the man chasing for 300 deadlift.
That used to be big as well. I remember you hit a 300, King of the Lifts would share you like this, and now you pull 300 for 10, and he's like, yeah. Ross just posted. Give me a second.
You see the 59s. Some of the 59s are getting close to 300. It's just thinking, So you hit again, even I don't know about you, Indies, now, some of us, when you're doing your 300 as a working set, you finish, you just look at 300 thinking, oh, yeah, that was 300. Shit. You know what I mean? But back then, you go 3 years ago, I'm doing 300 for triple. Bro, I'm posting that everywhere.
Wild, isn't it? Like, I actually feel like, as bad as it sounds, I actually feel ashamed posting 300 deadlifts now. Like, oh, people don't care about this. But for me, it's just my training logs or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, because you're a big puller, but some of us, like me, I think on the only lift I feel proud of posting, not on the stories, but on the post, is anything above 300. That's when I feel like, yeah, that's a lift worth posting because I'm an
800 pounds.
Oh, fuck you, bro. You think everyone is NI or thinking Nick Mendes? No, we're not. Anyway, cool. And 84 plus, we had Aquin. You know, again, she came in. Yeah, she had a little bit of a rough day on the squat, to be honest.
What happened on squats? What happened to on squats?
Depth.
I think it was just the 205 was a technical thing, isn't it? You know what I mean? And,
it was depth, wasn't it?
Yeah, with 215 as well. So bench.
The thing is, we spoke about this in the past, and it's not. Whenever we speak about this, there's someone who always thinks we're having a go at them. But this is what it is. This is a fact of life, right? International competitions, stuff like depth, stuff like bench pauses, stuff like hitching on the deadlifts or like downward movement on the deadlift. These referees are so hot on stuff like this. And like if you miss a lift, for example, on depth, the next lift, they're fucking looking at you like hawks. They're like, they're waiting. They're literally there looking at you like this person is going to miss on depth again. And it's with all of your lift. If you make a technical mistake and you fail on it, they're going to be looking for that technical mistake for your lift going forward. And they're going to be more interested in it.
Yeah, I think it's the exact same thing happened at the Euro. Look at the Euros. How many people bombed out at the Euro last year?
Oh,
You in this
But
connection is gone. It
but
didn't
my
make.
question here, right, is like the only reason I asked that is because here you can see 195 opener, right?
Mhm.
205, then 215. So in her second attempt, she didn't hit depth, right? 205. But then to go up 215, I mean,
I mean, probably they believed she had the strength for it, but again, at the same time, it is that international experience, isn't it? Where sometimes you go have to take what's, especially as well. She was leading by a mile. I think to me, it's like when you're leading by a mile, is take what's there on the day. Do you know what I mean? Take what's there, have a very clean meet, and then go for it. So I think that's where I put it as. But again, at the same time, when you're on that platform, it's all about you want to get bigger numbers sometime. You know what I mean? And yeah, it is what it is. For the listeners, I'll just apologize. Indy's internet just dropped now. He will try his best to come back in.
This is what happens when you have AOL dial-up, like Mo. It's just shit.
Yeah, take your swap while it's no run. But with her, she pulled 230 opener dead. Second with 242 and a half, and she missed 252. Even I watched the 252 again. I think she said it herself. She would take that to gym PB, and I would say you should do so. Yes, take that as a gym PB because she pulled that way. The only reason I'm saying that, if anyone that watched Aquin pulling that 252, that's what you call leaving everything on the platform. If it was me, when that lift hit that sticking point, I can't be bothered. I would just drop it. She was shaking and she was still going for it. You know, and at the end, I think she got a downward movement or whatever. It was so incredible to watch her pull that. And then at one point, I thought to myself, like, she lost it. She was just pulling. You know, when you're watching to the screen, think, is my screen just freeze or no? She's still pulling. You know what I mean? It was incredible. So yeah.
Still end the day on a 537.5, man. So that's wild.
You can't take that for granted. That's a big number. So hopefully in the next comp that's coming up, of course, we're gonna see the 550 from her. And
all in all, man, like Team GB showed up at Western.
Yeah, the Western Euros, they did well. They did really well. The men won. The women came second. So I mean, again, we had best lifter in Makeda. So yeah, again, it was a good comp. It's a comp like, I know they're calling it development comp. They're calling it as a comp that, again, I will say there, people to get exposure. If you're gonna opportunity to go and do the Western Euro, they invite. Literally, I will tell everybody, go and do it. And people that watch it like us, those that didn't, you can watch on YouTube as a recap. But it was an incredible comp to watch. To me, it was everything an international is. You know, you had different referees, different nations coming up against each other, different environment. Again, it was in Iceland, which is a beautiful country. So the experience was just amazing. And yeah, on that note, we conclude the recap for juniors and sub-juniors world and the Western Euros. The last point I had, it was for the next 5 minutes or 10, was the new qualifying comp that has been put in place in the calendar for November this year.
This is an interesting one. This is a very interesting one, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to tell the public, like, or the public, the people, the listeners, that what this is actually about? Like, why has this competition been done for this specific date?
From what I gathered from the email itself as well, and because again, I'm the type of person, like, when I see things like that, I always reach out to people to find out a bit more information. And I spoke to the head coach as well himself, Paul Marsh, as well, about this. when I saw the email. I think because of the way the calendar is messed up next year in 2024, it's to us to get a British championship before the Euros in March or before World in June is really hard, because bear in mind we have got Sheffield in Feb, we have got the Euros in March, and we have got World in June next year.
Okay.
And essentially, the only place we can have the national, it will be probably next year. By the end of next year, we're talking about October, November, or whatever. So at that time, it wouldn't really give the head coach the opportunity to choose the team for 2024. So they came out with this idea of hosting this championship on the 26th of November, I think.
Okay.
And this will be where people will go and compete, post a total number, and the people that go into the Euros have got dispensation, but these people have to they have to beat the number that the guys on the 26 will post. If that number is beaten, then the person of the Euros get a place to the Euros next year in March and the World Championship in June. But if the people in the 2026 of November, they post a bigger number that the people at the Euros will can't match or can't hit, then these guys will be selected for the international next year. There's two international next year, which is March, which is the Euros, and June World.
So this hasn't really got anything to do with like A totals then?
No. It got nothing to do with the A total. What you need to go, the guys need to go on the 26, post the best. Do as much as you can, put on the. It's kind of like saying, okay, here is my total on the board. It's there. Anyone beats that total, and you go to World, or you go to international.
Okay.
You know, and then let me just say this: the only place that you'll be able to post a total that will be considered for the international is the 26th of November, that day, and at the Euros.
Okay, let's just quickly go and we'll just do 3 weight classes, okay? Because I just want people to have like an idea as to how this could play out, okay? Mm-hmm. So we'll go off with the 66s, okay? So in the 66 class, you're gonna have.
This is a tough one though. It's a very
no. But I'm just giving an example, right? Just an example. So you've got obviously Kibra, right, with a 630. What's his PB? 637.5 or 635?
Was it not 642 or something like that? No, but anyway, yeah, keep it up.
And let's just say 635, okay? I know he's got a little bit more, but we'll do 635.
Yeah. Okay.
So obviously he's going to compete there.
Yeah.
He's going to be looking at something a little bit higher, obviously, like maybe a 640, 645, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's just say he wins that. To be fair, who's going to really be beneath him? Like,
this one is not about winning though. It's about posting something big.
Okay, no, yeah, this is what I mean. So it's going to be Kibra there, right? Ideally, do you think it's pointless for any other 66 to even enter? Because ideally, it's going to be like the next person with no disrespect, but Sammy's the only person there that's going to have a 632, but he's not going to do it because he's obviously going into the 74s now. So other than Kibra, is there any other person in the 66 that's even worth doing it, or what? Like, what?
I think it's worth because you don't know how Kibra might fare on that day.
Okay, but what I'm trying to say is the next person that's beneath Kibra, we're looking at 603 total or 605. Will select this person to go to an international with a 603, 605 total?
But the international is not just World and Euros. There's a Western Euro now.
Okay, yeah. So
that person of 605 might be selected to go to do the Western Euros.
So it doesn't matter how poor your total is. It just you just need to put up a total there.
Put up a total, your best total there. I think there's a qualified numbers for it anyway. I think check. I think on that since you're talking about the 66, for the 66, the qualified total for the 66 is 572.5 kilos. So if you have 572.5 kilos, you're going to do it. And then you total 580, whatever, and that number will be considered. You know, because remember, those guys that did the Western Euros, some of the numbers that won or whatever came third or whatever, they didn't hit 600 as a 66.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So that's an option that people might have. So I think, to me, we don't have the British until later end of next year. If you have got a total, to me, go and do it. You know, put your name down, go and do this competition, because don't fear about people that are coming in, like people like Kibri are coming with 636, Joey has entered with 603, and then or 74 we got Amari 692, and of course probably we're gonna get Sam Dew and the rest.
Mm.
Don't feel these big numbers thinking, oh, these guys already got these big numbers, what's the point of me going? On that day, you don't know how people will perform. Do you know what I mean? I went to World with 820. I ended up with 790. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying like everybody's Jurins, everyone will fuck up like Jurins because I'm a bloody easy target. But I'm just saying, like, you don't know on that day how people will perform. So it's just like, go and do it. It's really exciting. So yeah. So that's the comp that the 26th of November. I think an email has been sent across to everybody that is a member. But however, if you didn't get the email, if you go to British Powerlifting on the competition section, it's there. Just enter, put your name down, and yeah, go and have fun with everybody else.
And if you don't have a qualifying total, just quickly get yourself signed into.
Yeah, do
a quick one, yeah.
Yeah, do a comp to hit that qualifying total that is they're asking for, and go and do it. And I think the guy at the Euros, they will focus for the Euros. You know, the focus is the Euros. Some of us, the focus is the Euros. It's not even about what anybody posts on the 26th. It's about the Euros. If the Euros will ask for me to win it with 750, I'll win the Euros with 750. Simple as that. Yeah. If you don't pick me at World because I won the Euro 750 and add the total 800, it's up to you. I don't care. Do you know what I mean? So the focus is the Euros here. But it's to me, I like it because it's giving people an opportunity to get to that international stage, how to get to the international stage. Because at the moment, everybody was in the dark. We didn't know what's going to happen, especially when they pulled the Euros in March. Who's going to do it? How are you going to select the team? Are you going to select the team based on the British nationals? Would that be fair for people that did the Manchester Open? Would that be fair for people that did the Euros? The Western Euros. So to me, this is an opportunity that has been given to everybody, a route to go and put your total and be considered for the internationals next year. And if you don't go and do this, when the team is selected, you should shut the fuck up.
Not complain.
Not complain. You know, so it's spirit, because people just complain about what the head coach is doing. There's no transparency. What's this? What's that? What's the federation is doing? No, it's right here in front of us. Everyone has received an email. The comms has been sent across. We know what the plan is. You know the place. You know the location. So go and do this. If you don't, shut up.
Last question as well. Do you think this new qualifying total is going to be the new thing now moving forward? Or is it just for this specific comp in November?
No, I think this is just for this specific one, because don't get me wrong, these numbers is huge. These are big numbers. But I mean, these qualifying numbers is like when you think about 572.5 as a 66 is a big number. Only a handful of 66 in the country that have hit that number. I know a lot of juniors are close to 600 and 600 plus, but these are juniors unless they choose to do the open. But some of the open in the 66, no many have go 572, 580. That's a big number right there.
I think there's like 4 or some shit. And then 74s. How much is the 74s one?
That's 652.5.
There's not that many lifters that have that as well, to be fair.
That's a qualified number. Even at the 84, 83, 740 as an 83, there's only 183 at the moment that has got total like that in this country.
Shit.
Do you know what I mean? So when people are thinking about these total thinking, because a lot of people are saying, oh yeah, what can we use this total for the qualifying for next year? Mate, how many?
You're just going to see an empty comp.
Exactly. Do you know what I mean? Because in the A3, it's just going to be me and Ade, unless if Kunz does have found the comp somewhere and does it, and of course Luke Wilson. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise, who else? So it's going to be a class of 2 people or 3, you know? And then the 74 is the same thing. You're not going to get many. You go like 5 people, 4 or 5 people, because you don't have a total. You know what I mean? Yeah, your toe is zero. You know what I mean? You ain't got nothing. So it's gonna be like, no, I'm sorry. I'm against all these thoughts about people thinking about these numbers to become the new qualifying numbers for the British. I know people are capable of these numbers, but this will push the federation and the lifting of our nation behind, because these numbers we're not there. We're not Americans. Americans have a bigger pool to choose from. We don't have that bigger pool. We don't have a pool that everybody they on the 83, for instance. We don't have a place where, oh yeah, I'm 820 and the next one is 810, 815, 800, 870, or 70, 780 or 790. No. If you look at the gap, me and the second person is quite big. You know, you look at the second person to the third, same thing goes to the 74th and the 66. Look at the 66, the gap. Forget Sammy because he's still a junior unless he decides to do seniors. Look at between Kibria and Joey. You know, that gap is no easy gap to close in bloody 6 weeks. You know, so all these numbers people talking about, please, let's hold up a bit. But just on the last note on that, again, as I said, the information is there. And please go and check on the British Powerlifting website. Everything is there. If you don't understand, they've put names there to call. You know, I think to reach out to, I think Kim Cowell names was given on the letter. And of course, everyone knows now the head coach, Paul Marsh. He's on Instagram. He's on email. If you don't know where to find him, go to Ford in London or British Barbell. Go there, speak to him face to face. You get everything you need. But however, the information is on the website. So yeah, on that note, I think we're gonna close today's chat. So guys, to every single listeners, everyone that will be listening to us, please subscribe on YouTube and like us and follow us and give us feedback. Well, I think I've said this in the past. We are here to ask for feedback. If you have the feedback, please drop it on a note. I think probably your first feedback will be about what happened to Indy internet. Indy just coming back on the call. Indy, can you tell our listeners?
I think he's in Costa Coffee quickly. Yeah, I think he ran to Costa to try to connect his internet.
Bro, I fucking wish.
The way Espin rings you on this one, I wish you were here.
He's lying. Yeah. He's lying.
So Indy,
find out anyway because it'll show up.
No, I didn't. I swear to God.
I was just closing on the comment about the contest coming in November. In the unless you have any other comment, so we can close off.
My comment is this: when we said about British last year and people turning up for their spots, we had 1 million people telling us we were toxic. But if you don't turn up to this comp, then you can't complain about not being considered for international selection next year. It's that simple for me. Hit your qualifying totals, and if you haven't, be better.
We did it. We said if you don't turn up to this comp,
because I don't say Espin hasn't hit a qualifying total since fucking ancient times.
I mean, Espin is not considered as one of the best 74 in the country or 83, so he's not part of the conversation. He will be the part of the conversation after he compete on the 25th of December when he's going to total 700 as a 74.
I'll just let the lifting do the talking. Don't worry about me, boys. I'm just not going to say anything here.
Your coach is giving me permission to take the piss out of you because you're the Benjamin Button of powerlifting.
Espin, by the way, before we close, like last comment before we go, have you transitioned to conventional?
No, so I conventional once a week now. I've been having some knee issues and stuff, so I've just been conventionaling a lot. To be fair, I'm actually enjoying it. Like I think of Indy during every conventional now. The first thought I have, I swear to God, is don't drop the fucking bar. Don't drop the bar. But yeah, I'm actually having fun. It's just
obviously your knee's gonna hurt with the amount of running you've been doing.
That's wild.
It is very humbling though, Indy, man. Like fucking hell, the way you deadlift is nuts.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
I feel like, yeah, it's wild. But yeah, I'm enjoying it, man. It's pretty good.
Nice one.
Guys, on that note, guys, we're gonna call it there. So like what Jurins said, follow, like, subscribe, guys, on the page. We have some amazing videos coming soon as well. Some good episodes in the next couple of weeks. Obviously, we're not going to say anything yet, but trust me, we got some absolute bangers coming
I
very, very
can't
soon.
wait for them. These are gonna be
Very soon.
amazing.
If you guys have lasted this long on the video, right? Trust me when I say we've got some amazing fucking podcasts coming soon. It's going to be 10 out of 10. So stay tuned for that.
We're going on the top. We're going on the top of these ones. We're going on the top, straight at the top with these ones.
It's gonna be amazing.
Cool.
Yeah, guys, have a good one. Thanks for
And
listening.
Mo's internet might be fixed by then.
Cool. All right, guys. Next time.
And we'll see you next week. Peace out, guys.